very, very valuable equipment.
Okay.
It's a very, very important when you're exercising, okay?
Yes, oke deh.
Don't move it. Slowly lift your heels. Are you sure this?
Ngapain kamu di sini?
Don't worry, don't worry. Here we go.
Yes.
Move it slowly. There we go. Ooh, that's why I love my job. Look, this is look great.
Berat,
Okay.
berat.
I weigh about 70 kgs, and Uva weighed about like 150 kgs, Uva?
No, 300.
300 kgs. So
Gede bener.
let's show the quality of the machine,
Yeah.
right?
Aduh.
So if you move a little bit more, can you hear any noise?
Iya betul, nggak ada, no noise
No
sama
noise.
sekali, nggak berisik. Maybe only your heart like duk 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 duk.
It's because I love you so much.
Aduh
Uva.
Jerson bisa
There
aja,
we go.
saya jadi gemeteran nih. Tuh kan pemirsa, lihat kan betapa mantapnya freestyle glider.
Sexual harassment.
We weren't even doing anything.
But you were thinking filthy thoughts, Dr. Cowboy.
What? No, we weren't.
No, I was.
Oh. Well, still, we can't even think filthy?
Sexual harassment. You can't say filthy in the workplace.
But you just said...
Sexual harassment!
Okay!
Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you today about this whole Alex Jones thing. Alex Jones is basically has been 86'd by 4 big names: Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, and I forget the other one, but Twitter is probably going to be next. At the moment, I just saw Jack basically say he hasn't violated any terms of service at this point, so nothing's going to happen to him for the time being. We'll see. But here's the thing that we have to discuss. Alex Jones, InfoWars, has been 86'd on 86 2018. So 86'd on 86. Coincidence? I don't know. I guess some of the reasons were that he was supposedly promoting hate speech, and he was basically, they pointed out some examples of him being like anti-Muslim, anti-immigrants, things of that nature. And I'm like, okay, well, I think a lot of us are when it's not done properly and the vetting isn't done right. So that's not really an argument. That's not. I don't think that's a term of service thing. I think that's more or less like, hey, debate me on this and let's start a conversation and see, is it right? Is my point of view right? If it's not, tell me, and let's make some discourse here. But apparently, a lot of people don't want that to happen. There's a couple of other things that are happening right now as well. I mean, we have, how Alex Jones was the focal point, if not, he was probably second focal point in command when it came to the 2016 election. Everybody went to him. I went to him, mostly just for the coverage. For a lot of other things, I'm iffy on him, and I have not watched or seen any of his content in years. Probably since the election, a couple months after the election is when I stopped watching him. And it wasn't that I believed a lot of the stuff. It was that his coverage, especially when it came to Trump, was a little bit more in line with the outcome. Whereas everybody else, fake news, MSM, they were all like preponderance. They were all hypotheticals. They were all 99% Hillary to win the election, and they relied on their sources. They relied too much on their sources, and they all had big egos. So it's a huge mistake for the left in that run. And I'm kind of drifting off into left field here, but my whole point is, Alex was a central figure with a couple, maybe just 4 or 5 other news outlets and people that helped put President Trump into office. Now, a lot of people can say, okay, well, these are the midterms. What effect is he going to have here? Especially with his audience. I'm not sure what his audience count is, but I can definitely tell just from watching a lot of other people online, all the people that I watch on a regular basis, like AJ Elicits, the Red Elephants, Sticks, Hex, and Hammer, all my regulars that I usually watch on a daily basis, they're not really big followers of Alex Jones. But just like me, they respect the fact that his voice is there. They respect the fact that he's able to be part of the discourse. Again, using his freedoms in the way that they were meant to be. Spread your opinion far and wide. Spread your facts or your biases or your opinions far and wide, and then you as the recipient, me as a recipient, will be able to determine if any of this information is what I deem as valid, true, false, whatever, and do my due diligence to research it. There's a lot of people right now who, oh my gosh, like Chelsea Handler, she's like, oh, the awesome news today is that Alex Jones has been wiped off of all these 4 platforms, hit hooray or some shit like that. And I'm like, how can you be proud of this? You could be next. You don't know what the future holds for ideologies. As ideologies shift, again, the Democratic Party has shifted really, really vast. So when I left the Democratic Party, it was probably maybe 2000, I would say 2008 or 9. I can't remember. But I know that I immediately went from voting for Barack Obama in his first term to only voting Ron Paul. So it was between 8 and 12. So 8 and 11, obviously, because of the election year. But anyways, my ideology shifted a lot, and I owe it to one person that I worked with at my very first tech job there. So I thank her for that. I'm not going to give the name out of who she is, but she knows who she is, and she really got me on questioning things that I never questioned before, and I always felt entitled. So beyond that, having CNN, having fake news, having British even fake news, European fake news, having all this fake news everywhere, this real news, whatever it is. Ultimately, it comes down to you to make up your mind of what's real and what's not, or what you want to believe in and what you don't. And also your due diligence to actually do your work afterwards. At the moment, they're eliminating a key person right before the midterms, and it's pretty important because there are two things here, two sides I see. I think it's important for the fact that they are aware, they're pre-planning. They are pre-planning, and they basically want to make sure that they eliminate as much of the distraction away from whatever message they have. The left's message of more immigration, more taxes, and more California's plastics, paper straws wrapped in plastic. They want to promote all of these things. They want to push this shit into your face. Meanwhile, they are they're scared shitless. They don't understand. Okay, they think they're just as stupid as they were in 2016 when they were going through this campaign thing, the DNC, and pre-planning all this bullshit. They're just afraid right now, but they're doing everything wrong. Sure, you might have taken out a big giant. You might have done that. But you're forgetting there's content creators. I'm not going to say like me, but kind of like me. I'm a small fry, but in a world of content creators, in a world for the span of 2 years, you had President Trump call you out. You had a lot of people. I hate this phrase here, but shifting sides from the left to the right, which I think a lot of it is bogus. I think a lot of it is just, again, still a lot of the people in between are sheep. They're listening to talking points from the right, and granted, I guess we could take that for the votes. But in long term, it's better that these people, the sheep part of them that are moving over, to really understand this stuff, not just to really understand what America's about. Freedoms, basically non-infringement of your rights, nobody bullying, nobody like the left trying to bully to take your rights away. I mean, all of these are byproducts of being an American, and that's what needs to be the focus. Not just, oh, I'm getting off the plantation and moving over here. That's like putting a Band-Aid on. That's like giving anybody a clip. That's like giving people clip notes to just to move from one side to another. You got to do a little bit more than that. And granted, it's up to the individual. 100% it's up to the individual. There are people in groups out there that are trying. I don't like a lot of them. I don't like a lot of how they are. But whatever, beyond that, maybe they're doing good, and time will tell. We'll see what happens in the midterms here. If it backfires, if it doesn't, whatever. But you're forgetting about us content creators. You're forgetting about the people that are motivating. Me, I'm motivating maybe tens of low hundreds, but maybe less than that. But there's other people out there motivating hundreds of thousands that have the same ideology and way of thinking as I do. Don't infringe on my rights, and I won't infringe on yours. Don't take away my rights, and I won't, and you won't. And we'll try to motivate you to persuade you to see that you shouldn't have to have yours taken away as well. Don't change the way America is. Don't make us into a socialist state. Don't bring in any of this control systems. Let us work in unison together to let our government know that they work for us. We don't work for them. So with all of this, though, I mean, they think that just attacking Alex Jones is going to be the big fish of them all. 86 on 86 is how I look at it. But here's a problem, and I think a lot of people are aware of this. We're all next. We're all next. You know, regardless of if you're left or right. Yeah, granted, you know, temporarily, maybe some of the people that I follow and listen to on a daily basis, like consistently, nonstop, they might be banned today. They might be banned while I'm filming this video, and before I render it and edit it and publish it. It's possible, and that there's going to be a lot of those people, those bastards on the left and some on the right, who think that this is a good thing. Oh, you know, we got rid of that shill, Alex Jones. It's not good. It's not good. If you want to have true freedom of being able to think how you want to think and express what you want to express, and have that world, have you and everybody else in the United States be able to cohesively, you can have polar opposite views, but you can work together and discuss and talk amongst yourselves. Not fight, not fists, but you can talk amongst yourselves and hash these things out. I just recently went through it with one of my videos. The video about Marquise McLaughlin, the guy who was shot in Florida. And somebody said, you know, he started off with a bang, saying, you know, hey, you know, you don't be lying about this. I see white women do this as well, bitch. You know, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I don't get fazed by cuss words. I don't get fazed by somebody calling me a spick, a wet neck, or whatever they want to call me, because I'm a Hispanic who, and I'm not. I'm an American first, but obviously I'm using the label to express something here. I am of Hispanic origin, Mexican origin, Puerto Rican origin, so I have these backgrounds in me that and I'm a gay man, so I can offer these subcategories to give you an input of what I feel throughout the whole process. And this guy, you know, started the conversation. I don't get fazed. You can tell me anything, I will not get fazed. You can tell me you hate my mom, whatever. You know, that's your deal, that's your business, that's your swap. But is it actually going to be helping the discourse between both of us, or all of us, whatever? It doesn't, and that makes you look bad. I will always listen, and I will always, if I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong. You know, I've done it multiple times. We all have to work that way. And right now, shutting out Alex Jones like this and InfoWars, not the right way to do it. Not the right way to do it. Just because you hate somebody and what they're saying, just because you hate what they're saying, does not mean we need to turn them off. It should be look, propaganda is always out there. It is your job as a civilian to make sure that you read between the lines. It's not the job of all these people on the top. It's not the job of these people controlling these social media outlets that we all participate in. It's your job as an individual. And if you're that fucking stupid that you feel like, oh, I'm Chelsea Handler and I think it's a great thing that Alex Jones finally got kicked off, then you're fucking mental. You obviously don't have any rebuttals and you would rather silence people. And that's the problem with you. That's the problem with you. That's why I can't take you seriously. That's why I stopped watching your show. I mean, I knew you were a dingbat from the start, but I mean, you were funny initially. And then when you started getting political, it's like, you can be political and be funny. I don't give a shit. But it's you know, there's a time and a place for things, and granted, I mean, you have that right. But your audience is going to be made up now of either people who want to follow you, and then you give them like-mind ideology where they think that it's just okay to kick people out. You guys are all turning into idiots. You're turning into idiots. All you Chelsea, and your audience, and all these Roses, and all these Joy Behars, and all these Whoopi Goldbergs, who have these soccer mom talking points that don't mean a fucking thing. You guys, all you guys do is read headlines and you think you know everything. Now you're, and you don't like it when somebody gives you information, whether it's true, possibly false, or false. Your job to research, it's not your job, or it shouldn't be a success and something to be cheered and revered when somebody is thrown off a platform because you disagree with them. Look, I disagree with a lot of people all the time, but I love that discourse because you know why? It's like with this person that I was talking to on one of my videos, the recent video I just talked about, he brought up great points, but I had to let him know what I was focused on in my video. He wasn't wrong. He was correct in saying, you know, people always, you know, false flag officers and lie about officers. And I'm like, well, I'm telling you, my subject matter in this video is just this specific subject here, not the rest of it. With that, I agree with him 100%. Yes, those are issues, but that wasn't part of the video. And then he kind of understood the whole way through, and I'm like, well, we both agree. That's the whole thing. We both see the logical side of things, and that's what the left, never Trumpers, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, everybody who does not want to think with their brain has a problem with. And until you guys get over that problem, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to have these big giants, these big monolith giants here that are going to be taken away. People like me, people like Alex Jones, people like the Red Elephant, people like Styx Hexenhammer, people like Anthony Brian Logan, people like even this girl, but Candace Owens. You know, she was taken off of Twitter for a little while, and I'm like, LOL, that is kind of funny. But when you look at the context of things of what she did, I mean, yeah, you know, it's based off of that lady who was hired at the Washington Times, the racist biatch that was just hired at the Washington Times, and I can privilege, right? No, it shouldn't be that way. This should not have priority. It should be equal across the board. White person, black person, brown person, whatever, all in between. We all should be able to say whatever the fuck we want and move on from there. Everybody, women are men and men are women, and I don't know, whatever. So anyways, with all of that said, I guess my whole point is this. You don't censor people just because you don't appreciate their thought. When you cheer something like that, it makes you look like the idiot because it looks like you can't handle the shit that they're dishing, and you can't fight it, and you can't argue it, and you have nothing to rebut back with. I know that's true. I know that's true. And you know what? All of us know it's true. And you know who else knows it's true? The people up above that are censoring all of these people. That's who knows it's true. Because they know that if they get the sheep on board, that there's a potential for a shift to the left. You know, it's sad. You know, let the best ideas win. Let the best let people learn from each other. And then if you want to argue it, just argue it and try to bring up your own. You know, don't take anything personal. People are. It's just sad where people have gone these days. You know, there's a lot better avenues to take than being offended and having somebody else ask the person from a platform for you, and then you cheer it. It's like, yeah, you're off now. You know, I got rid of you. You know, Twitter. Twitter's next, buddy. Twitter's next. You might be on Twitter still, but Twitter's next. You're cheering for all the wrong reasons because you're going to be next, buddy. You're going to be next. Anyways, what are you guys' thoughts? I think it's all bullshit, to be honest. These platforms were. I don't give a shit if it's a private company. These platforms, you know, there should be some. I think after reading a lot about it over the years, as long as there's some changes in between with the Internet Bill of Rights, when we start seeing the censorship of these things, I mean, I'm blacklisted on Twitter. I don't get a single like from anybody except maybe 2 or 3 people that are my regulars, and I have to really do some far-reaching on some big names to actually get some content out there. And even then, when I log out and I log in with my other account and see, like, am I on this? I'm not. So, I mean, I'm being blacklisted, shadow banned like that as well. So, do what you can. You know, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on BitChute. That's my other channel outside of YouTube, where I do post all my videos as well. Follow me in all of my other places. You know, I'm going to start using all of my other tools. And I don't have Facebook. Fuck Facebook. You know, screw that. That's about all. I hope you guys all have a great day. Let me know what you guys think about what happened to Alex Jones here. You might not like him. You might not have to like him. You might like him. You might love him and consider him a god. More power to you. But whatever the case, what happened here is wrong. What happened here is regression, not progression. What happened here is a slap in the face to us as people to say that letting us know that they feel they have the authority to slap one of us and tell us, bad kid, go listen to all the, now go play with everybody else. And if one of you guys ever make a mistake with that again, we're going to boot you off as well. It's not the society we need to live.
You get your quotes, you apply in minutes. It is that easy. You should do it right now. Like literally just pause where you are, apply right now for your life insurance. Make sure you are covered because you never know. The rest of this show could be so shocking you don't make it through the rest. So make sure that your family is protected. You get your quotes, you apply in minutes. It is that easy. You should do it right now. Like literally just pause where you are, apply right now for your life insurance. Make sure you are covered because you never know. The rest of this show could be so shocking you don't make it through the rest. So make sure that your family is protected.
No. No.
Sexual